resonated with
There
me
you go.
a
Yeah.
lot is when you were talking about ethos and pathos and I guess logos.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if you could share with our actors how what these are and how actors could use these effectively in their performing.
Yeah, pathos. Sometimes if somebody is very true in terms of their emotionality, the audience sort of catches the virus of that emotion and shares it. And so emotion is created between the audience and the performer. The performer can activate or trigger emotion in an audience. Not necessarily that the actor is feeling the same thing as an audience member is. That's quite a misguided notion, I think, that's been perpetrated in our acting world. Sometimes the actor can just be counting their steps and resonate with an audience who feels pathos for them because it's been a carefully constructed performance. Um, Another way that you can appeal to an audience is through your clarity of thought. So that if you're very clear, if you have a point of view, if you study the text, if you have something to say, the audience can feel the clarity of your intellect. And that's a different level that you're functioning on, this resonance with the audience. And then another way that you can connect with an audience is your comportment. Like as a great statesperson can actually inspire somebody to live better because of how their posture is, how they relate to people, how open they are. So you have comportment, you have intellect, you have passion, you have emotion, and these are different levels with which you connect with an audience. You can stir in them a possibility of being a better person, or being clearer with their thinking, or having an emotional experience. One of my um, favorite quotes that I first heard from Robert Brustein, who used to run the American Repertory Theater. He's now an elderly gentleman. He said once, to make good theater, you need three things. One, you need to have something to say. Two, you need to have passion. And three, you need to have technique. And if one of these are missing, the whole thing falls apart. And I always think of that like a milking stool, like with the three legs, that if one of the legs is missing, it falls over. So in that sense, you have to actually have something to say, which is kind of uh, your logos, your thinking right. You have to have passion, which is pathos, is where that comes from. And you have to have technique, which you get through practice and a physical commitment to what you're doing. So you actually have to work on all three. And if you're working only on technique and not on passion, only on passion and not on technique, only on something to say, it's just didactic. So you need several layers to be practiced and shared with an audience.